we can easily discount how difficult things are once we've begun them. And moving from 0 to 1 is really difficult in anything. But moving from 0 to 0.1 is hard too. This episode is about going from 0 to 0.1. Let's talk about beginning something. And specifically, let's talk about my super secret Twitter account that I'm currently trying to grow. My name is Craig, this is Get Doing Things, and this is the first time I've recorded it on YouTube too for a while. This is episode 170. As I mentioned, I've started a new super secret Twitter account. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it is secret and I genuinely am not going to tell you what it is. But this episode got me thinking, or rather me starting a new Twitter account got me thinking about this idea. It got me thinking about the ego and where we sit when we start things and why it's a killer when we start something new. It's been a while since I've started something new. It's been a while specifically since I've started a new Twitter account. I started the Produce More Twitter account a couple of months ago, but since then I've got my regular Twitter account, which has got 2,400 followers or something, my Produce More account, which has nearly got 1,000 followers now, and this new secret Twitter thing that I'm not going to tell you about. And it reminded me when I started it, when I had 0 followers, and right now I've only got 5 or something. When I started it, when I've got 0 followers, it was killing me. It was killing me to continue with the project. It was killing me to keep saying to myself, it's okay, Craig, it's okay. The content that you're writing is good, it's just that you don't have the audience yet. And the ego is a killer when we start in something new like this. It really is a massive killer. And when I started it and I felt useless looking at the 0 followers, and I had 0 Twitter followers for days, even though I was making good content, even though I knew this was the kind of content that I write on my normal Twitter account, the style of writing gets engagement, I knew the things that I was writing were good. And good content is still good even though nobody likes it. And I had to remind myself that the content I was writing was good. It was just I didn't have the audience yet. And I see this all the time on Twitter. I see small accounts come up with 0 or 25 followers or something. They follow me on Twitter. They start engaging with everything that I'm doing, and they seem to be really loving Twitter. And they've only got 25 followers for a while, and then within a month or two, they drop off. They just quit because they can't hack the fact that you have to spend so much time in 0 to 0.1. And spending time in the 0 to 0.1 is really, really tough on your ego. And that's partly why I started the new Twitter account as well, to remind myself what it feels like when you have got no audience, what it feels like to be at the very beginning again. I like to remind myself of this feeling often because I think it has value. So I see smaller Twitter accounts like this all the time. And it isn't that the content they're making is bad. It's just that there isn't an audience yet. When you've only got 25 followers and only a percentage of those followers are seeing the things that you tweet, you don't have the audience yet to be able to put out content for people to see it and for it to go viral, unless you are very, very, very lucky. So right in those early days when you're going from 0 to 0.1, you've got to remember and not let your ego take over, because it will. Your ego will take over. In the early days of the Produce More account on Instagram, I paid £10 to boost a post. The post, I typically average around 15 to 30 likes on a Produce More Instagram post. I've only got 450 followers, and at the very beginning, I probably only had 20 followers or something like that. So I bought a boosted post, and the post reached 900 likes just by amplifying it. I amplified it to a bigger audience. I showed it to 4,000 people or something like that by paying Facebook money to show it. And then suddenly 900 people have seen it. And again, my average posts get 15 to 30 likes or something because my audience is only 450 people. But your audience, as it grows, starts to amplify your message. And if you can get past the ego bit at the very beginning, if you can get past the fact that you've only got 5 followers, if you can get past the fact that you've only got 10 followers, that you've got 20 followers, that you've got 30 followers, if you can get past all of that, you'll eventually build an engaged audience that wants to listen, that will share, and that will promote the things that you're doing. But it's really difficult because you've got to get past that point. And that point's not easy to get past. Trust me, it's not easy to get past. As I said, I'm going through that right now. It's a brand new Twitter account. It's in a niche I'm aware of, and I'm going to keep teasing it because I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. But yeah, just remember, 0 to 0.1 is difficult. 0 to 1 is hard, but 0 to 0.1 is the hardest time you'll spend. The only advice I've got while you're there is just persist. Stick at it. Please. Please. Because believe me, if you stick past that, you'll start to build an engaged following. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. This was Get Doing Things. This was episode 170. And I call this episode 0 to 0.1. Until next time, thank you again, and I'll see you soon.